Okay, everybody, welcome back to the show. This is episode 4 in our long career on the real estate paradox here. And I am joined today by our co host. He will contribute some to the conversation. I will probably mostly lead the conversation, and he'll kind of chime in here and there if he's got anything to add. The bourbon of the day today would be Basil Hayden's. Now, this is kind of I think, a staple for a lot of us bourbon drinkers. I fully concede. I am a new bourbon drinker. It's one of the joys that COVID brought me was the ability or the necessity to figure out how to make food for myself. And it turns out that making food for yourself is a lot more enjoyable if you can drink a little bourbon as you go. So good bourbon. Can't go wrong. Basil Hayden's good stuff. The topic of conversation in today's video is primarily designed for new buyers or first-time home buyers. And that subject is, well, how early should I reach out and who should I reach out to? Okay. AKA, I know I want to buy a house. When the heck should I contact you guys? Now, here's the thing. There's two main people that you're going to have in your life as you're going through the home buying process. Okay. You are going to have your agent and you are going to have your lender. Now, most of you are going to know a real estate agent because let's be honest, we've all got a few friends that have their real estate license who probably don't really do real estate, but they got their license to help people like you. Basically, you're low-hanging fruit to your friends that have their real estate license. Let's call it what it is. So chances are you're going to reach out to an agent before you reach out to a lender because you know an agent, and most of us don't really know lenders, right? Most of us don't know mortgage officers because who does, right? No one wants to hang out with those guys. So you're going to reach out to your agent friend, and then that agent friend is then going to typically put you in touch with a lender that they work with. Now, in terms of how early should you reach out to your agent or agent friend, I would typically say, hey, look, at the 1911 Syndicate, right, which is my company, we help people buy and sell houses and all that kind of stuff. I typically say we work with a lot of first-time home buyers. And within that, there's a lot of education that has to happen. That's one thing you should look for if you're a first-time home buyer is you're never really going to know until you're in the process with this person, but you can typically get an impression early on. Hey, look, is this person going to help guide me through the process and teach me about the steps? We don't need to make it more complicated than it is, but I would like them to teach me so I understand what's happening along the way. And I tell our first-time buyers, hey, look, give us at least a 6-month window. I'm even fine if you're reaching out 9 to 12 months early, although to be honest, there's probably not much that needs to happen other than just a very basic conversation between the two of us to kind of prep you for what's to come. But a 6-month window is definitely what I prefer to have if Jake rules the universe, which universe would probably go to shit. I would say, hey, look, give me a 6-month window. Typically what I take our buyers through is we're going to work in reverse. So we're going to kind of go in a reverse timeline. So let's just say for easy math's sake that your lease, because if you're a first-time buyer, it stands to reason that you're probably leasing a place now, your lease runs up at the end of the year. So let's just say December 31st, you got to get out of your apartment and you got to get into your new home that you just purchased. First thing, it's not super enjoyable to have to move all of your belongings out of your apartment, go deal with the leasing office, drop off the keys, do all that stuff, drive across town or across state or whatever it might be, and get into a new house and unpack the U-Haul and everything all in a day. It's not fun. So I always recommend, like, look, let's not cut this thing so close that in the course of a day, you've got to completely relocate your life. I'd like to have, hey, look, let's get a 10 day to 2-week window. That way, for a period of a couple of weeks, you can transition out of your apartment and slowly, bit by bit, take a truckload over to the new home. So if you got to be out of your apartment December 31st, I'd say, look, we need to be closing, right? AKA like signing the documents and getting your house recorded with the county and all that kind of stuff by mid-December. So we got a couple week buffer. Now, we want to be closing on your house mid-December. That means we need to be under contract, aka like entering escrow, which is typically about a 30-day period. We need to be doing that mid-November. So if you're going to be able to move into your house mid-December, we need to be under contract, aka an accepted offer by mid-November. Now here comes the real question mark that none of us are going to know. In order to get you under contract mid-November, when do we need to start searching? And really, none of us know. It's kind of based on our personal experience. And hey, based on my experience in this market in St. Louis or Salt Lake or wherever you live, God forbid you live in St. Louis, but it's going to take us an average of, let's just say hypothetically, it's going to take us 30 days to go shop for houses. We're probably going to put in a few offers because it's a competitive environment right now and get you under contract on a house, right? So let's just say it's going to take 30 days. Well, that means we need to start shopping mid-October in order to have you under contract mid-November so that you can start moving out of your apartment into your new house mid-December and be completely out of your apartment by the end of the year, right? So now we're at mid-October. So that's 2.5 months just to locate, get under contract, close on the house, and move into the new house. Now, so why do I say reach out 6 months early? Because here's the big wild card. We have to get your financing dialed in, and that's going to be the most critical part. Well, one of the most critical parts of this is figuring out, okay, this is not what someone like me as an agent would do. This is what we are going to put you in touch with the lender to do. I like 6 months out because I go, look, hey, Bob, the client, Bob, and whatever, Jim, the lender. Hey, look, I want us to have a conversation, three-way call 6 months out because I just want the lender asking the client, look, do you have any debts? What kind of debts do you have? Do you have car payment? Do you have medical bills? This, that? What kind of wild shit do you have in your past? Do you have bankruptcies? Do you have child support? Whatever it is, right? I want them to do a preliminary dig to figure out, do you have any things that are going to be a hurdle for us 3 months from now when we actually have to get your pre-approval done, right? So the purpose of that 6-month call is to go, look, we need to identify any things that you need to work on now so that once we're about 3 months out of you needing to move in, that's when we actually have to do your pre-approval, right? And that's going to actually be pulling your credit. You're going to have to submit documents like things like tax returns, pay stubs. There's going to be, maybe verification of employment. There's going to be different documentation you're actually going to have to submit, right? It's a loan application. So to put in that loan application, you're going to have to submit documents, could be bank statements, yada, 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 right? So we need to do that before we start looking at houses because there's zero point in looking at houses. And frankly, I would not even look at houses with you if you did not have a pre-approval in place, right? So just to kind of recap here, we're going to start 6 months out. We're going to have a conversation between me, you, the client, and you, the lender, to go, hey, look, is there any stuff that's in your past or in your credit or yada, 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 that we're going to have to clean up now so that around 3 months from now, you're good to go to get a pre-approval. 3 months rolls out, right? So now we're about October, mid-September, early October. We're getting your pre-approval done. We're going to start shopping in October so that we make sure you're under contract mid-November. That way you can close, you can start moving in mid-December and be completely out of your apartment by the end of the year. So that's just a rough recap. I know hopefully that doesn't sound too complicated because it's really not, but I like to work in reverse. So the only way to know where we're going is we've got to start with, this is the finish line. We're going to work our way backwards to right here, right now. What do we need to do? There you go, everyone. I'm used to, for those of you that don't know, which is probably most of you, I'm used to making content where we go into the mountains and we get to shoot cool guns and we get to do stuff. It is almost staggering, even to myself, that I'm here sitting with you, enjoying a drink, and we are talking about financing pre-approvals. I do enjoy that stuff because I enjoy business, but it's almost like I can't believe I'm talking about this stuff on camera right now. If you guys ever need real estate help, you can hit us up. 1911syndicate.com is our site. We operate in a lot of different places. I'm here in Utah, but we do operate largely all over the country. So you can always just reach out, see if we can help. We'll give you a straight shot. And then if you find that you get some value out of this channel, you enjoy it, you can subscribe to it. It really helps out, especially in these very early days right now, if you drop us a comment or you like the video and things like that. So we do look at comments. We do engage back with you, especially if you have a question. We'll always get back to you. So anyway, peace. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy your Basil Hayden's tonight. Pet your dog, and peace, America.